Hooray!
Not
Oh,
the
hello.
internet. but
Hello,
the
Internet. We're in the past.
Oh, all the pervs on the internet are watching us now? Great.
And by pervs
I have
on the
shoes
internet, you
on.
mean the people in this chat.
Yeah.
I
I
have
said what I
shoes
said.
on, no free feet.
I said what I said.
Hey
That
guys,
is a
I have
difference.
an announcement to make.
Hmm.
It's Wednesday, and it's
It
time
is.
to roll some dice.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
That's my announcement. Welcome. But yeah, it's Wednesday night. Time for some Wednesday night dice. Before we begin, quick shout outs as I am wont to do for Incarnate and Dungeon Alchemist and Foundry VTT and Hero Forge, all in the service of creating and then displaying maps that you will probably not see any of this evening. Because I have none prepared.
Oh, well.
Please don't pick any fights.
Well, now
Or do.
have
I don't
to.
care. Or do. But yeah, in Hero Forge and Fantasy Name Generators and Monument Studios and Pocket Bard making minis and music and all of the other cool, fun, and interesting things that we see on the channel. So, also, impending Facebook posts for Extra Life sessions. On our Discord server, we just posted all of the signups, so all of that is finally underway. So yeah, we're gonna be kicking it into high gear, prepping for Extra Life Game Day, which is November 2nd, Saturday into Sunday, November 3rd. It's gonna be a good time. There was no official theme this year like we've done a few times before, but I think we stumbled into an accidental theme. I mean, mostly me and Mike stumbled into an accidental theme. An alliterative Fae game. So if that piques your interest, come check us out on Saturday, November 2nd. So yes, and without further ado, I would like everyone to roll a percentile while I stall as I pull up the list
27.
of questions that I always forget to pull up ahead of time.
38.
I heard a 27. Court, what is your character's greatest fear? Either rational or irrational.
Be careful, he'll use that against you.
I know. Well, I think that it's probably a little bit situational. Right now, she's very worried about trying to get back to the Feywild and or communicate with her patron because she didn't exactly succeed on the mission she was sent on and got stuck in the Dwarf City. So, yeah, she's kind of missing from the Feywild at the moment, and that's a little nerve-wracking to her.
Okay.
Do I need to hit Y to end turn?
Do. I just had to find where it was in my notes that I had everybody else's answers to that question.
I don't remember what I answered for that question.
I don't think you have answered that question.
Did I answer
Did
that
you
one?
ask that question?
Zilny has answered that question.
Fuck, I don't remember what I said, so that'll come back to bite me in the ass.
No. You gave a very Zilny answer.
That's about right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sure.
I kind of want to quiz you now on what you think it was.
I mean, I've talked about Helia's backstory and how she came to be in this area with you, so I just expect it to come back and bite me in the ass at some point.
What do I think I said before for Zill's greatest fear?
Uh-huh.
It's gotta be something like letting somebody in the party die on a mission or like failing to save somebody.
No.
Fuck, I don't know what I said then.
Not quite that altruistic.
Okay. I don't know what I said. We'll find out one day.
What I have written in my notes, retirement / being useless.
Yes, that was the other thing I was thinking. It was like, it's either dying in obscurity, just like languishing somewhere and like not being able to do anything, or
he doesn't want to go to the home.
Losing someone. Yeah,
Shady
yes,
Pines.
that's probably what it ultimately comes to. He doesn't want to be in an old people home. So guys, don't ever put him in an old people home, please.
That's gonna be
Next week's session is
going
to take place in an old people home.
He's
throwing
gonna
that
when
out
he's
there.
being all
be like,
cranky, they're gonna be
absolutely
like,
not.
yeah, when he starts getting all cranky, like, get off my lawn, they're all just gonna be like, Shady Pines, Zill.
Lila would absolutely talk to them about it.
Lila's gonna build him
anytime we have a
automaton
mission.
nursemaid.
That's kind of cool.
No, it's like anytime we get assigned something where we have to go to one, he's like, no, you're trying to trick me in here. You're trying to trick me. I'm not going to fall for it.
Outside.
You can't force me.
I'm going to keep watch.
Sam, what did you get?
38.
38. I will let you re-roll if you want to. I know that this question was posed to someone last week. What treasure item or artifact that your character has collected during the adventure is the most important to them? And I know I've been kind of light on the loot so far.
That was me.
But I'm working on it.
Yeah, I think I'll
steal
re-roll
a lot more.
because the item that I think that she currently has would be something that she got not adventuring. Yeah,
What? Her most treasured item isn't that shiner from her aunt?
No, her most treasured item are her
Is Brutus.
Is Brutus and Endeavor. But Endeavor's not an item. Brutus, no.
Maybe Brutus isn't an item either.
Tina just got so offended on
Yeah.
Brutus.
Yeah.
You don't know what you did. Maybe he's sentient too.
Maybe he is sentient too. Constructs have rights. 15.
15. Ooh, I really like this one. I don't think I've asked this of anybody yet. What battle in the campaign has been the most memorable to you or to your character?
Oh.
I will let you answer either as your character or as you as a player.
Honestly, probably the Phoenix for both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one sticks out to me the most. And I think from like from the viewpoint of somebody who is just fascinated with the world always, being able to like experience that and see that and like kind of be in a little bit more danger than they're used to, like, you know, I don't really count like the demon portal as a fight. It's an encounter, but I don't think it was really like we weren't fighting anything really. So yeah, I think I would say the Phoenix for both.
Okay.
That was a good
Noted. Rhodes, what you got?
33.
Hey.
33. What person does your character admire the most?
Just like any person?
Well, I mean, either a party member or an NPC. I know you guys have been exposed to quite a number of NPCs.
Gotcha.
Better not be Saoirse.
Like, honestly, that
May
could have been an
been.
answer at the start of this.
Mhm.
Like, he had a lot of respect for her. Which is obviously now 1000% gone. Someone that he admires. Like, over the years, it's probably been, like, people he's reported to that he's admired, but if we stick to, like, people in the group, in some ways he, like, really admires Endeavor, because, like, the mindfuck of, like, just suddenly springing into existence in, like, not knowing what the hell you even are. Like,
And having
it's like,
Lula explaining it.
right, yeah.
Yeah, good
So,
luck
like,
on that one.
you know, there's a lot of, like, respect admiration, like, of how well, like, that's been handled for as well as it could possibly be. Like, it's just such a mindfuck to him that it's just like, I don't know how I would have handled that. So, like, kudos to you for creating a life after literally being metal, like a pile of metal the day before.
Literally.
Kudos, yeah.
Tune in for MTV's new series, Life After Lula. A deep look into the automatons that she's created and abandoned to fend for themselves.
Rude.
Got it.
There's no abandonment.
You
I
know,
mean,
you say
I
that,
had to
but
go find a new spot to go rest at night because there's now a dog in it.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
charging
you know.
ports don't work anymore.
They don't.
Rude.
No, one's a USB-C, one's a USB. It's a problem.
you know, you say that, Court, but now all I really want from the universe is a high fantasy reboot of My Life as a Teenage Robot.
Excellent.
Listen, I'd tune in.
Extra Life next year.
I'd watch it. And finally, last but certainly not least, Tina, what you got for me?
76.
76.
That is a 6, I think. Yes, it is a 6.
Ooh, this is an interesting question. What memory does your character want to forget the most?
Part of me wants to say that they don't want to forget anything and that actually is a fear. Like, that's at some point, they don't have the same brain that a person does. And they don't know at what point does the memory run out? And suddenly you have to defrag it every so often. Like, how does this work? So it's like, is there a threshold at which there's no more memories being made? Can you not make them, and then do you have to go in and delete some files? I think they're so young in the grand scheme of things that hasn't come up yet, but they don't really know. They know that people generally have, at the very least, fuzzier memories as you go back. Like, their brains do something and it sorts through things and you keep the important stuff and the rest of it just kind of gets pushed in the back and discarded. But if it goes to a specific memory, I think probably whatever the earliest memory is, like that actual waking up, because I think that was extremely disorienting. And later on, the knowledge that that's not something other people have experienced. That's not something that normal people, you don't remember being birthed.
So the simple idea of having that memory when you know it's not a common memory to have.
Yeah. And
is,
just that traumatic knowledge of something is different and I don't know what it is, but this is not how it was before. Like, I think it's the transition to suddenly using the word I.
Mm.
And realizing that you understand I as a concept.
Okay.
Don't worry, Helia will buy you an external hard drive for your for your
It'll be a mohawk.
startup day. For your startup day. And
Be like,
No, it's
"Hey,
boot
you
day.
can, yeah, you can back up your memories.
You're gonna have to like reboot in DOS mode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Endeavor doesn't have birthdays. She has
Mhm.
boot days.
3 days before you, I have to go through a defragging process and can't go out on adventures. All the temporary
Alright.
files go away. What do I have to do? Yay.
Excuse me. And with that, we will jump back into it. First, does anyone want to recap us on what we did last week?
We figured out how the freaking town is laid out.
Yeah, you
After
did.
a while, we finally, we spent our time basically trying to get to the Sanctum of the Forge.
So, in fairness, I mean, that did take you guys almost the entire session last week to really figure it out. But you were just walking around and exploring the city, and you stopped for brunch for a few hours.
We did. We stopped to have some brunch, to people watch. We asked some folks. We rode a gondola, which was very nice. A little bit disorienting when you stare down into the giant pit,
Mm-hmm.
but But yes, we asked for directions to the Chain Jackal, where we're supposed to meet our contact with the Legion. Discovered it's gonna be quite the walk, so figured in the meantime we would go ahead and find a gear. Figured out how the arrangement of the various districts and the way that directions are handled in a place where you're not north and south don't really matter. So yes, as we have 12 districts, and we have a number before them, and that tells you what level ring you're on, and then we have in town, midtown, and out town for how close and how far you are from the big deep pit. Because there's obviously no problems with drilling deep into the earth ever in fantasy worlds.
No.
That's exactly, never causes issues.
Well, I mean, there was that one time with a Balrog.
There was the time where the there were drums in the deep.
Yeah.
But there's no drums, so I think everything's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that obviously comes beforehand. But yes, then we ended up going over to see a gear, went to the Sanctum of the Forge, dumped a whole boatload of information on him, and saw what happens when a fire giant gets really, really, really stunned. And he seems to want to have our lovely cargo egg baby Phoenix stay protected in the temple, but has at the very least left the decision up to us, and we are currently taking the day to make our decision on what we're going to do with this egg that puts a target on our back, but we're also not sure whether we want to just trust leaving it locked in a room in a temple somewhere. So yeah, we have a day before a gear has to head out to go help with recovery efforts, and we need to give him an answer before then. And yeah, we're basically just getting ready to head out to go to the Chain Jackal.
All right.
Which we got to go up.
So yeah, you guys leave the Sanctum of the Forge. And you do have you do know what neighborhood the Chained Jackal is in. You don't have like an exact address, but you do know what neighborhood it's in at this point. It's in the 3rd Barrel District. So now that you guys have you've gone a little better than halfway around the pit around the city. You've gone up and down a couple of levels, and at this point, you're starting to get a pretty good handle on how the city is laid out and how you can traverse from one level to another. Um, so, it takes you guys about a half hour to get there, but through a combination of rail cars and walking, you guys do find yourselves in the Third Barrel District, the same district that the Chained Jackal is supposed to be in.
When we like manage to get to that district, do we see any other Deep Legion people? Because it sounds like the Deep Legion has taken over that place. So if we can find someone else, maybe just like casually follow them, maybe we could find this place.
Make a perception check.
16.
16. There's Deep Legion fucking everywhere.
Oh, like too many to be able to just follow one group? Great.
There are a number of I'll call them units, a couple of groups or units look to be just patrolling. There are a lot of these legionnaires heading out of the district. There are a few legionnaires scattered here and there that are going roughly against the flow of the other legionnaires. And that gives you a pretty good idea of what direction you're probably going.
Okay.
Is this district like the others? Is it a big mix of sort of higher end commercial and residential in toward the pit, and then kind of expanding out, but all a mishmash? Or does it seem to have more of a, I don't know, military bureaucracy that type of structure in terms of buildings?
There. Make a perception or investigation check.
I'll do. Oh god, that one on the floor. That better. That's better. So investigation 23.
23.
Yeah.
As you guys are walking, you get off a rail car in town of this district, and you guys are heading deeper into the mountain towards Midtown, which is away from the pit. And you are looking around. There's a pretty even mix of commercial, residential, industrial. There does not seem to be hardly any like government type buildings at all.
Okay.
So it kind of makes sense that in this area, they would have had to commandeer some kind of building. As you guys are walking, one of the other things that you notice is that this district is kind of at the edge of the chasm that opened up that ripped through the city. So, if you go like towards the opposite edge of this district, you start to see a lot of destruction, collapsed buildings, the chasm itself eventually, and you start to hear, the further in you go, you start to hear the sound of what sounds like a waterfall, the water from the ocean coming all the way this far into the mountain, and then down towards the bottom of the pit. All right. So you guys are walking for another, like I said, it takes you about a half hour total. Maybe 45 minutes. From the Sanctum of the Forge to the Chained Jackal. But with little difficulty, you guys do find the place. There are. It is a building. This entire part of the neighborhood is. It's like a strip mall that there are just units and buildings and businesses carved directly into the rock face. So none of these buildings are like freestanding. But there is a large sign protruding out from the rock face that depicts a like a hyena looking but bipedal creature with a what appears to be like a rope or chain coming off from its neck. Underneath that picture is a wooden plank that the original writing is obscured. There is another plank that's like haphazardly nailed over top of it that says Deep Legion HQ, Third Barrel District.
All right, we found the place.
Uh,
Yeah.
so you guys head inside. There is a buzz of activity in one corner of like the main hall. There are a couple of tables set up. There are some people sitting at them, mostly Deep Legion uniform, but there are a few what appear to be civilians, for lack of a better term. Most of the tables have been either cleared away or lined up against the opposite wall to make like desks and like workstation. Um, Around the back in a common, design for this area and for Skytown is a long L-shaped bar. There is a dwarf standing behind the bar making drinks and then running them out to different people. And then along so it'll be the left-hand wall as you guys walk in, are where all of those tables are lined up to make like desk space. A few of those tables are occupied with either one or two dwarves, all of them wearing, Deep Legion attire. And they are all facing into the room, except for one table at the end is facing the bar.
That guy have the vibe of authority?
Make an insight check.
His name.
9.
9. It doesn't take much. Um, the guy at the end is seated. He's wearing full plate armor with deep legion insignia like kind of everywhere on it. Large ornate helmet placed down on the table next to him. This guy is clearly in charge.
Okay. Then
We should go over to him.
Zil will, walk on over and, okay. Question: is this a culture that does like saluting or any of that? Like, would Zil know that? Like, is that a thing? That there is a way to address someone in a military type of position?
Zil would know. And there is. It's not something that you've ever been expected to abide by in the past. Because I keep drawing this parallel, but the Deep Armory, you're the cops, and local PD and even state troopers don't salute the National Guard.
Right.
That's just not how it works.
Yeah.
But you guys also, I mean, you've been conscripted, but you guys also don't really have ranks or haven't been like formally notified of your rank.
That was not in
I believe
the
the rank
contract.
is peon. Is
Yeah.
I think what it is. That's what I'm assuming.
Yeah, you hold the rank of gopher.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like private bitch first class, like
Yeah. But yeah, if there is a like, if it's like a salute or something that's not like overly complicated, Zil will approach and did we get this guy's title? Like, is he a? If we did, I didn't write it down. Commander, captain, something. Commander. Okay, I wrote down he's our commanding officer, but I didn't write down the title that he is a
Yeah, commander.
Okay. Then he'll just walk over and say, Commander Baron Rock, new group reporting in for duty.
Oh, another one. What hole did you crawl out of? As he
Skytown.
puts down what he's working on.
Skytown itself.
a literal hole.
Oh, good. So you're crawling into this hole.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, and it's the four of you. Is there anybody else in this group?
No, sir.
Well, the dog.
Kind of leans over his desk.
Bruce wags his tail.
So the four of you.
How dare you?
You have a copy of your contract?
Yes, sir. He pulls that out, hands it over.
And he takes it, reads it over. And he says he reads it over for two and says, "I see. Well, I wasn't really expecting you, and thus I have nothing prepared at the moment. Give me an hour, and I will have an assignment for you. Gods know that there's plenty to do." He hands back your contract.
Yes, sir. Are they still providing food in this establishment?
He points his quill that he has since picked back up. And he just points at the guy behind the bar. And he says, Gilrook. He owns the place.
Thank you. See you in an hour.
Don't go too far. And he just gets back to what he was doing.
Oh, Zil doesn't plan to leave the building because it doesn't matter how many times Endeavor and Lula try to explain the complicated ass system that this city uses. He doesn't understand it. So he's just gonna sit here.
It makes total sense.
Yeah.
Sure. You know what makes sense? Fucking sunlight.
Fucking gnomes. Am I right?
No.
Hellier just leans over to Zil and just says the Feywild makes more sense than this, and that's saying something.
I've never been there, so I can't say for certain, but the stories are wild.
Yeah, we'll find a table and sit for an hour.
Yeah, if there's a... I mean, how long has it been since we ate brunch? Not that long,
Like
right?
an hour, probably.
Long enough that
Yeah,
you could probably
like-
eat more.
Yeah.
You mean like the half a ham sandwich and 4?
Thanks, Discord. Oh no. I'm the DM now.
Everyone's the problem. Wait, come back!
What?
Come back!
What the fuck, Discord? I don't
Did
Discord.
Discord just shit out
Discord.
for all of us?
Yeah.
Everybody.
Okay, I'm glad it wasn't just me. I thought it was just me. I was like, oh fuck.
Holy
Nope.
cow.
I was like, fuck, everybody's froze. Oh, there goes Rose. Oh, shit.
And here we were not streaming live tonight because we wanted to avoid tech difficulties. And yet,
And yeah.
Discord was like, bitch, you thought.
That's what you think.
Hold my
Nobody
ale.
outdoes me.
Bitch, hold my
Damn,
beer.
that was a big tantrum, Discord.
Yeah.
My god.
It really did.
Court, say all of that again.
Side note, before we continue, that needs to be a drinking game during Extra Life, is every time Discord, like, throws a conniption, take a drink of something, water and or other sorts of,
Oh,
inebriations.
yeah, getting discorded.
Getting discorded.
Do we have do we need an emote
Yeah.
of discorded?
Yes.
For
Yeah.
Extra Life?
Yes. 100% we
I don't know
Somebody
how to
make that
I'll
happen.
figure that out.
Yeah.
I just said you mean the half a ham sandwich and like 4 pieces of popcorn that we were rationed for brunch.
Pretty much.
Actually, I have a question about that, Dustin.
Yeah.
So we've eaten at an establishment and we've walked around enough. Does it seem like Korsava Brew, at least from what we have experienced, is struggling as much as Skytown?
Make an insight check.
I want to know where the farming level is.
15.
Yes and no. So Skytown kind of has an advantage in that it is when new products, new material comes into Korsava Brew, it's got to go through Skytown.
Right.
That's what Skytown is. So Skytown has an advantage there that any food or materials or anything else like that has to go through Skytown anyway. However, there are a lot of Korsava Brew is a lot bigger than it seems. You know, even if you're in the pit or going over in a gondola over the pit, you can still only see a small portion of the city.
Okay.
Like, at best, you're getting a glimpse of, like, a third of the city. Because you can only see the in-town districts. So there's a lot going on that you can't see. So there's a lot being done. There's a big part of a dwarven diet is shit like mushrooms and um crops that can grow in a cave that don't need sunlight. So there's still agriculture down here. There is still farming, there's still ranching down here. Yeah, it's been disrupted in a big way. Um, but this is also like the city. And so it was a lot easier to maintain order even on such a big scale. Um, the armory wasn't really prepared for how quickly things went to shit in Skytown.
Got it.
Sorry.
Um, it's almost like, I guess a good comparison would be Skytown is a lot more like Athens, and the core is a lot more like Sparta.
Okay.
Where, like, just being inside the mountain, there is a bit of a culture shift that they are a more militaristic society. And so that lends itself to, you know, people keeping their nose clean.
Got it. Okay.
Because you're in Texas, everybody's packing.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a gun, so nobody fucks with each other.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so like the disruption to like food supply and material supply is definitely there, but the amount of unrest is not as much.
Got it.
All right. So you guys you guys are, you know, soft dismissed. You're due back at um Baron Rock's desk in an hour.
I think we're just gonna pick a table and sit at it. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are
Maybe
these
get a
tables?
drink.
Are there tables for sitting, or are these all being utilized as actual desks?
There are a few tables for sitting and just having a drink. Like the the tavern is still in operation. It's just a lot of the real estate has been commandeered by the Legion. I would like everybody to make a perception check as you turn to step away from the desk.
Oh, which one?
14.
Didn't see shit.
11 for Lula and 22 for Brutus.
Okay.
21.
21, you said?
21.
Okay. Brutus kind of locks eyes. Like, Sam, you notice that Brutus has not really been paying attention to you or Baron Rock or that conversation, like, at all. Brutus has been focused on the bartender.
Okay.
Endeavor, as you guys turn to step away from the desk, you realize that this bartender hasn't quite been staring. Staring is a really strong unkind word for it, but this bartender has definitely been like looking at you guys and watching you since the moment you walked in.
And anything does anything stand out about the bartender
No.
specifically? Not like dwarf,
He's a dwarf and he's tending bar in a tavern.
just watching us.
Yeah, he's just like he is exactly what your mind pictures when you put the words dwarf bartender tavern together.
Oh, have
Like
you?
everything about this is like the cliche that all other cliches are based off of. But he's definitely been watching you since you walked in.
As we go over, well, leave the desk, turn, and go to sit at a table, or
Mhm.
go find an empty table, do his eyes follow us?
Yeah.
Is there any other patrons who are trying to get his attention? Has he been basically, is he still kind of tracking us even as he's doing other things at the bar?
He is multitasking. He's not watching you to the detriment of anything else that he needs to do, but he is very clearly like taken notice of your group and is keeping an eye on you.
And does Brutus
Like he's not just like staring at you.
He's not
Like an unblinking gaze. But
I mean, sometimes people look little.
yeah, I mean, you watch him, he's like cleaning glasses and he looks down to grab a glass and he's cleaning it. He doesn't have to watch the glass to clean it. He's done this before and he's watching you. And his eyes do a quick scan of the rest of the place to make sure that nobody's looking for him or needs him for anything. But his default is kind of watching you guys.
And does Brutus look agitated? Like, is this a situation of Brutus can sense beyond what we can that something is off, or is this just a why the hell's that, like when you stare at a dog and it's basically a staring contest?
Sam, does
Like the
Brutus
one staring at me right here, right now?
Yes.
Yeah, like that.
He's like,
one.
I heard dog stairs.
Sam, does Brutus have like an insight or anything of that nature?
No, he's only got a 10 wisdom, so it'd be a straight roll.
Yeah, make a wisdom check, just a bare
that's on
d20.
par with your average like NPC too.
Yeah. Brutus knows nothing.
What'd you get?
Brutus rolled a 1.
A 1?
Yeah.
Brutus is just having a staring contest with this guy.
Oh, okay. As one does. Well, I guess as we head over to find an empty table, I will, looking at the others. Do either of you know the bartender?
Lulu kind of glance over. Does he look familiar at all, or?
No.
No.
He's a dwarf. He's got a big dwarfy beard, but otherwise he's kind of nondescript.
Lily just looks up all of a sudden and she's like, What are we doing? Can I get a drink?"
The bartender's been staring at us since we walked in the
Yeah, I mean, the moment you guys find a table and sit down, you find a foretop. You guys just sit down, and no sooner are you all set than he comes over to and says, "Good afternoon. Anything I can get you?"
Beer?
One beer?
Water's fine.
Water?
Yeah, I'll take a water too.
Water?
I'm fine, thank you.
All right. Um, he doesn't make any notes because he's been doing this 150 years. He can remember 4 drink orders. But he turns, walks away. A minute or two later, he comes back with 4 glasses, 4 tankards. And he sets one down, a beer, 2 waters, and he sets the 4th tankard down, in front of Endeavor and just says, just in case.
Thank you. What's in the tankard?
You
Motor oil.
I was thinking it.
It is a tall pint of sulfuric acid.
Yes, my favorite, guys.
Just got that little extra kick.
Motor-
No,
motor-
you pick up the tankard and the tankard is warm to the touch. And you smell it. It is a very strong tea.
Well, as he, like, after he walks away, I'll say, I mean, he might just be looking at us because they don't see a lot of non-dwarves and gnomes down here. No offense.
That is true. People on the street seemed very inclined to move away from us.
Yeah, that might also have to do with the armor. But I think inside the mountains, not quite as eclectic as Skytown is.
But you don't know. You don't know him. It's not somebody you worked with on the force or something.
Not that I remember. I mean, a lot of people came and went, did different things, but nothing I can remember.
Is he still watching us? I kind of glance over toward the bar.
Yeah, after a minute you glance over and yeah, he's still kind of watching. Not quite as intently and constantly as before. But yeah, he's definitely still like keeping tabs on you. Actually,
Maybe he's just worried that we're a bunch of new recruits who are gonna fuck up his bar.
You look over and like catch his eye, and he realizes that you can tell that he's watching you, and you see like a quick like glance away.
So subtle.
Well, it could just be because we stick out.
Yes.
I feel very tall. Also, these chairs are very small. I'm just sitting with like one leg at this point. Nothing here is made for me.
Like your knees are just like up here.
Mm-hmm.
If the only advantage is that dwarves tend to build big, or else I'd be crouching the whole time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it is. The chairs are maybe a little low for you, and the table is maybe a little lower than you're comfortable with. But as far as like being able to stand up and walk around, everything is dwarves build with vaulted ceilings.
yeah.
So you can stand up straight. You don't have any issues with any.
Yeah.
Also, it's worth noting that dwarves are still medium-sized creatures.
They are.
They're not halflings.
Fucking halflings.
Because they're short and wide.
I mean, dwarves are just like, yeah, they're just very,
Stocky.
yes, robust.
Robust. They're true Renaissance women.
Oh yes. As we're sitting here eating, I'd like to just kind of listen in on the conversations going on around us. I'm assuming there are folks coming in and out, but also the people who are working. Just to see what I can pick up of what's the current state of affairs in essence, at least within the Deep Legion.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Plus 23.
23. Yeah, no one is really having like out and about big conversations to the whole place, but you've got a pretty keen ear, so you're able to focus in and pick up bits and pieces of just about everybody's conversations. There's a couple of people at the desks at the other side of the room that are like coordinating different recovery efforts, or just like coordinating different projects, either to whether it's some kind of recovery, whether it's some kind of rebuilding, or other kind of project of that nature. There's a pair of dwarves sitting at a nearby table, very similar to you, just having a drink and some downtime, that are complaining about, they're not being like super assholes about it, but they are complaining about where the chasm opened. It destroyed an area of the city that they were a big fan of. And they are lamenting the fact that a rival's business was not destroyed.
It sounds legit.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
They're, it's like, oh yeah, and, this chasm opened up and it took out like almost the entire stone district. Why couldn't it just deviate like a little bit to the 5th Iron District and take out that neighborhood? Because Gary sucks. And that's where his shop is.
It took out all the like nice neighborhood businesses and like left the Walmart.
Yeah, like it's absolutely that kind of conversation. My brother had a blacksmith in the Stone District. Not anymore, but fucking Gary. He's got his general store is still in business. So yeah, it's coordination of recovery efforts, and a couple of pricks at the next table over talking shit about Gary, I guess.
All focused on sort of recent events though. Like this
Yeah,
is
everybody's talking current events.
It's all current.
There are no other events outside of the current.
The current event is fucking Gary.
Yeah. Fuck Gary.
Yeah, fuck Gary. He sucks.
Hashtag not all Garys.
Hashtag fucking Gary. Hashtag not all Garys.
That's gonna be the title of this episode.
Not all
Not all
Garys.
Garys.
Not all Garys.
Oops, all Garys.
I'm I'm gonna see that like a week from now, and I'm gonna be like, "What the fuck did that mean?
What the fuck is this about?
What the fuck is this about?"
So yeah, that's kind of the gist of the conversations that you pick up. I mean, there are a few other people in the tavern having other conversations, but yeah.
But
these two guys talking shit about Gary is definitely the interesting conversation that's happening.
They must be off shift.
So yeah. So you guys are just kind of hanging out. You hang out for an hour. You all consume your beverages. I need everyone to make a perception check. Endeavor, I would like you to make your perception check with disadvantage.
Okay.
Still don't see shit.
God damn it! We're playing cards.
Hey. Caleb is screwing with me, I think.
I told you. That dice
rolled a
is
natural one last time and I rolled a 2 this time.
He's just counting up.
Yeah, just eventually you'll get there.
Mm-hmm. In 3
Thing
weeks.
is, he would giggle. He would like flick the dice to be a 2, and then he'd giggle probably.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Rhodes, what did you get?
22.
22. Sam.
6 for Lula.
Brutus isn't rolling.
Ah, fuck. 6 for Lula.
Okay. So I should write these down.
I rolled a 9 total with my 2. So I have a +7.
Corey, you said a 9?
Yeah, 9 total.
And Endeavor.
22.
Okay.
I like how you rolled a 22 with disadvantage, by the way.
Yep.
Insane.
I rolled a 13 and 19.
Druids in their wisdom.
Yeah, that's what I do. I just do that. Not the speaking, just the looking. Just the staring. Just the silent, awkward staring. Oh.
So Rhodes and Endeavor, you both notice something. Zilni, as you are finishing your water, you notice something written in the bottom of your tankard.
Okay.
And I have just sent it to you in a direct message. Endeavor, you pick up your tankard around the same time to, smell its contents, get that, aromatherapy thing going. And you also notice there's something written on the inside of the bottom of your tankard.
Am I sitting? I guess we didn't figure out
No.
who's sitting where, but am I sitting next? Who am I sitting next to? I guess who's on each side of me?
I don't fucking care.
Okay, I'm gonna say Lula is one of the people sitting next to me, and I'm just gonna as I'm, pretending to down the rest of my drink, seeing this, I'm going to happen to put it down a little further over, and then use my foot to nudge hers.
Oh yeah. She'll look at you What the fuck? And then, like, what?
I just gotta look at the cup.
And she'll just kind of like pass. I imagine that hers is. She doesn't take me as like a big water drinker. So like hers is probably mostly full. So she kind of passes it closer to Zill and then swaps them, and we'll take a quick glance.
So Lula, you grab Zilni's tankard and you pick it up and give it like a cursory glance, but it's empty, and you immediately notice once you tip it like towards yourself, you see that something is written in the bottom, and it says Dark Song Manor.
Seeing Lula's tankard, like, do I notice? Does the bottom look like there's something there through the water?
Looking through water, you absolutely notice something written at the bottom of that tankard.
Okay. Then he'll
chug,
just
chug.
Yeah, they're like, you really need to learn to actually drink water.
Nah,
It's
water's
healthy
gross.
for you, but fine. And then he'll like, chug it so that it seems like, no, this is totally like not suspicious.
You tip the tankard towards you, and as you're drinking, the light from behind you illuminates the bottom, and it says, "Tell no one."
Okay. I'll just set it back down and be like, all right. I drank some of it. Are you gonna finish the rest at least? And I'll like pass it back over.
Fine, I guess. She'll like take it and take a swig and then kind of check it.
Helia and Endeavor, what are the two of you doing during this very odd water-related exchange that these two fucking gnomes are having? I mean, it's gotta just be a gnome thing. Gnomes are weird about a lot of things. Why can't they be weird about water?
I think that's exactly what happens. Endeavor initially is more focused on what the hell's at the bottom of their own glass, which is a problem because they don't actually drink. So it's kind of like, trying to like get it in the light to make sure, like, am I actually seeing something, or is this just some kind of weird reflection from crap up above or something like that? At which point the glass exchange starts happening over down there. They're just...
Are you guys trading backwash? What the hell are you doing?
And then I think Endeavor, like, okay, is this what we're doing now? We'll just take their glass and slide it to Helia.
I mean, I don't really want any tea, but I guess I'll have a sip. Like, want to smell my beer? She slides it over.
Smell my beer. Sorry. I just wasn't expecting that sentence. I don't know why it got me.
Why does it smell so sour?
Oh, that's sour?
Hell yeah, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Solid, okay.
What's in the...
I should probably... Oh, that's a big natty 1.
You gag on this tea. It is tea for smelling. It is not tea for drinking.
Oh, I knew there was a reason I liked coffee better. This tastes like trash.
It smells really good, but it tastes like literal trash water.
To be fair, I've never actually, I don't know what it tastes like.
It smells better than it tastes, that's for sure. Huh. You can have this back.
what's that beer smell like for you, Endeavor?
Liquid bread.
Do you know when you leave something in the like vegetables in the fridge for too long?
Ew.
Why you gotta come at me like that?
You know what? You know what it happens when your potatoes start to make their own potatoes?
It's called
Again,
homesteading, but
why
yeah.
you gotta come at me like that?
It's kind of like that if you put it in water.
Ew.
And I'll just slide it across to Zill.
Okay.
Oh, you didn't? We weren't just doing a.
No,
You
I
guys were
mean, if Ellie is
exchanging.
cool with it, I guess I could see if I agree.
Have
Yeah.
at it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll see what these inside the mountain people think is good ale, and he'll try to like take a sip to see if he can read what's on the bottom.
Make a perception check.
Ah, fuck. Stupid dice. 7.
It's not a pale
7.
ale.
Nice.
Damn it.
You tip it up to take a sip,
Mhm.
and you can tell that there is something written at the bottom of this mug. But there is still too much beer in it, you can't actually read it.
Mm.
Just like chug it down.
No, he'll put it down and be like, I mean, I suppose it's all right. But Helia, tell me what you think once you're finally done with it. You've had the whole experience.
Okay. She'll
No,
just
this
honestly,
might
she'll
be.
just pick it up and like chug it like if she's thirsty, you know. That's probably only half full anyway.
So you chug it.
Yeah. She'll
Make
just...
another perception check.
Thought you were going to say make another
Jeez,
con
that's
save.
tough.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. 21.
Okay. You finish your beer, and as you tip the mug back to get the last few drops, the light hits the inside bottom of the tankard, and you see the words 6th Midtown Anvil.
The fuck? Is this what you guys were looking at?
I mean, yeah, we just wanted to know what the beer was like.
Kind of thick.
More of like a porter or a stout. Yeah, I got those vibes too.
Yeah.
Seemed kind of heady.
Hmm. Interesting. I mean, I've had better in Skytown, but whatever.
Some unique tasting flavors for a beer.
Yeah.
But the tea was bad.
Helia just starts making faces at all of you.
Like, I mean, the tea can't be that bad, and Zill's gonna go for it because he
Oh, it
now wants
tasted
to put
like
the pieces
It's
together.
interesting.
it tasted like sweaty socks marinated in pickle juice and
Ew.
soaked in.
Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. Do I need a con save?
It can't be that
yeah,
bad.
make
It
a con
smells very
save.
good.
17.
So I mean, it's really strong, but it's fine.
Yeah, fucking wusses. All right, Feywild people can't drink shit.
Let's
So what
be
he's
real.
thinking. He doesn't say it. But
Zill
he's thinking it.
drank whatever was in the pot at the precinct. That was
Yeah.
basically like
Yeah.
par.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvie has like.
Do
ulcers
you, Zill? Do you down this tea to get at what's written at the bottom of it?
Yeah, he'll like take a sip and like look at Helly
There's
like
bits
it's
at
not
the
that
bottom.
bad.
There's
He needs sugar.
And then
there's some
finish it.
leaves, I think,
Yeah.
at the bottom.
You've spotted the grim.
No, really, it's the anvil.
Zilny, you start downing this way too strong tea, and what is written at the bottom of this tankard is just the word midnight.
And now, since
Mhm.
he just drank his own water, this entire tankard of tea, and like half of Lula's water, he's got to piss like a racehorse. In like 20 minutes time, all of a sudden he's like, my little bladder's gonna burst. Okay. He's not gonna like,
Interesting.
yeah,
Was it
wait till we're not there. But yeah, all the
it's not
pieces.
not too bad, right? Not terrible.
No, I've drank worse. There's a buddy of mine that I used to work with before he retired. Used to like make moonshine out of this like old toilet that he like says was fully cleaned out, and then he used it to make it was fine.
Oh.
Kind
Gotta
of
be resourceful.
look over toward Brutus and his brew belly that has not been cleaned.
No. It's
You guys
fine.
are in the middle of this conversation, and you just hear from like the opposite. What kind of fucking name is Lore and Or?
I don't
Who's
know.
asking?
We were fucking drunk at the time.
It's
Were
funny.
we drinking?
Is this what's his face?
Yeah, it's
Commander
definitely
Baron's
the
back.
Commander Baron Rock is
Rock.
asking this.
Oh, that's us. Like, just totally non-apologetic.
Yeah, a few beats go by, and the commander just shouts, "Well, get over here!"
Zill will gather the tankards and like drop them off at the bar on the way back. He's polite.
Zil, what is your passive perception?
14.
Okay. Yeah, you pass the tankards bag, drop them off on the bar, and excuse me. And Gilrook just scoops them up and gives you a slight smile and a nod.
What do
And
we owe you for those?
first round's on the house.
That inner city hospitality is very nice. Thank you. No.
Well, it's the least we can do for the Legion. Well, kind of looking around. Maybe not the least we can do.
Fair. And Zill will head over to the table.
All right. So, Baron Rock, slides a. He stands up at the desk, and he slides a crude, not really hand drawn, but still a crude map, towards you, and says, this is a rough outline of the 12th, 11th, and 10th rings. The 12th and 11th, if you didn't already know, are completely underwater. What I need you four to do is I need you to go down into the 11th ring. It's the 11th Forge District, Midtown. There is an estate there when the catastrophe happened. There was a banquet taking place with a couple of high-ish ranking guild members, guild and clan members. Some of which haven't been seen since. A few people that we knew of that were supposed to be on this guest list have been recovered. But we need to confirm the what is the word? I just had it. We need to confirm the identities and the fates of the remaining guests at that event. So I figure this is a good place to start you until we have any more important or pressing assignments.
That 11's underwater.
That is correct.
I can help with that. Is there a guest list for this event?
We've been able to recover a partial guest list. And actually, I think this is a good time. That's pretty much the job. Go down, confirm the fates and identities of the remainder of the guests. So let's take a quick 5. Let everybody stretch their legs a little bit.
Yeah.
And when we come back, I will hand off the names on that partial guest list.
Sounds good.
All right.
Sounds good.
We shall be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Hooray!
Hello, Internet.
No, there are people.
So I have a question.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you think it would be disingenuous of us to edit that breakdown to an actual 5 minutes?
Oh, I always edit.
So that I'm. Oh, you do?
Yeah, on the VODs, I not on the Twitch VODs, but on the YouTube VODs, I edit the starting soon screen down to about maybe 30 seconds, and then I typically edit our breaks down to like 2 minutes, maybe, if that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I edit that shit down when I remember.
Okay.
So in
post, I'm not
into
allowed.
a half hour. Yes, I edit that shit down.
I just want to make sure I know when I'm.
Yeah, no, I take care of it. Don't worry.
Good. That's why I keep you around. For editing.
For editing, and that's it.
And she pays half your mortgage.
No, she doesn't. She pays all of the other bills.
Okay.
All right. So, you guys are. So you're talking to the commander, Baron Rock.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you've just been given this assignment. He writes out your orders, which is just it is very similar to the way that the Legion or the Armory gives you guys contracts. Like, everything's in writing because their red tape is their favorite color, I guess. I don't know. Because I hate myself. So you guys get your orders, everything is written down. And the document states the Stonewell Estate, located 11th Forge District, Midtown. Gives some details. There reports of an event before the catastrophe. Full guest list is unavailable. It includes the partial guest list, which has, I believe, it's 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. There are 9 names. They are primarily from the Oakenbeard, Barrel Shield, and Anvilbrawn clans. The 4 of you immediately recognize all of the names. Maybe not the first names, but you recognize all of these clan names as one of the 12 ruling clans of the city.
Dustin, what was the middle one? I'm sorry.
Oakenbeard. Oakenbeard, Barrel Shield, Anvilbrawn are the 3 most prominent. There is also at least 1 member of the First Breaker clan and the Bitter Axe clan.
God, those are such good dwarf names.
I know, right? I was really proud of those. But so that partial guest list with those 9 names are included. Your task, so this is all just, up until this point, this is all just background information on the location, its significance, and its location, where this estate is. And then your assignment is to recover any bodies, rescue any inhabitants if they're still living, and confirm the identities of and the fates of everyone in the estate. There is also a clause that states all property found within is forfeit to the Deep Legion and its representatives.
Touch nothing but the bodies. Got it.
Making just a bare intelligence check. 18. That clause actually means the exact opposite.
Oh.
We're representatives.
You are representatives of the Deep Legion.
Right.
And all property found within is forfeit to the Legion and you guys.
So, but we probably have to, do we have to bring it back? Is it like the clause from...
No.
So they don't care what we take.
No, any material property
Is good.
at this point is forfeit.
Cool.
Forfeited by the owners of the estate or former owners of the estate if they don't ever want it back or can't ever get it back. Whatever you find down there is essentially this job.
Gotcha. So loot everything. Lula asks about, so if we're expected to bring bodies back,
Yeah.
in addition to
Mhm.
survivors, do we have means to do so? AKA bags of holding? Or any such other,
Can you put a body in a bag of holding?
if it doesn't need to breathe?
I mean,
Is it-
you
is it in a
probably
fit?
put
Does it
one
fit?
body in a bag of.
Well, a bag of holding. Sorry.
A body bag of holding?
A body of holding.
Oh, Jesus.
A body bag of holding?
Yeah.
Oh my god, now I want to play a necromancer who has a body bag
there-
of holding.
Are there
Just
straps
fill
on
with-
it so you can wear it like a backpack?
Yes,
Yeah.
and you just fill it with body parts so you can make skeletons and zombies at any point.
Combat
Pull
starts
your
and you
hand
literally
out
just
of bones.
unzip.
Yeah, just dump
And it just fucking.
No, you don't reach into the bag to pull out
you just turn it
bones.
inside out.
You reach into the bag to grab the bottom of the bag to turn
Yeah.
it inside
Yeah.
out.
100%
And then,
just dump
so-
everything.
Yeah, so two things. So that's
Put a
your
flap on the bottom
action.
of it, so you
Mhm.
just-
So what you do is your first round one action. You point the open bag towards an enemy before turning it inside out. So it's an explosion of bones, like a necromantic Kamehameha wave.
Yeah.
Then
I love that.
round two is when you cast your raise dead, your create undead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a benevolent DM, and I would let you get away with like a dance macabre.
Unless if you're a sorcerer, you could just do it on that turn.
Yeah.
All at once.
Add a
Big
couple
explosion of
sorcery.
body parts, and then they all start coming at you.
Mhm.
Oh, not even. Yeah. Just take some meta magic feats.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
if you've got a flair for the dramatic, you just do all leg bones, so that it's not like full skeletons. It's just, a few dozen just hopping single legs that just hop around and kick people. Or it's all hands.
Ew.
Just bitch slapping people.
Yeah.
No, I'm
Yeah,
now
they're
I'm-
just thinging around. They jump up and slap you in the face.
Now I'm thinking like Spirits Bard, and it's just Thriller, the music video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But again, just the hands. Anyway, so
Anyway,
yeah,
so
so
yeah.
you guys
How we're getting these bodies
How are
back?
we getting these bodies back?
Baron Rock looks at you and says, unfortunately, the Legion is spread too thin already. We can't provide any additional assistance. But based on your references, I'm sure you'll figure something out.
I'm very curious as to what our references
Yeah, what
were.
are our references?
What-
Who
I wonder what they
referenced- who
say.
referred us?
Kind of
Alright.
assume it was Crumrack. I was curious what that man said about us.
Fuckery abounds.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Alright.
barracks or anywhere to sleep for the evening?
I'm told that the rates here are pretty good, although we don't own the establishment. We've already, just kind of commandeered this space. So you're wherever you can or would like to find lodgings is your prerogative.
Haven't commandeered the entire city. Got it. then should we go find ourselves some lodging?
Yeah,
Take a
might
walk
as well.
around.
And then figure out how the hell we're gonna get down there.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about it, I guess, over dinner.
All right. Um, at this point, you guys look out. There are windows that look out over the street. Um, and you guys can tell that the amber lights of the street lamps are in this area starting to turn. So it is getting later in the day.
I think we should find somewhere else to stay, maybe.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Stay out of the commander's way.
Do we need to come here before heading out, or are we just gonna head straight there? If we're heading
assume
all the
we're
way
allowed to.
down, I feel
Yeah, I
like
assume we're allowed to head straight there. We've got the orders. He didn't
Yeah.
say to come back. If he didn't say
So-
it, I doubt he wants to see us again until it's done.
so maybe finding
Come
a
back
place...
with the shield or upon it.
No,
Come
they
back
said
with
they
the
didn't
dead
even have it.
bodies or don't.
So maybe find a place
Further down.
a little further down.
Yeah.
Also, because we do have an appointment.
Yeah, I figured we'd
Do
leave.
we? Yeah. Walk out. But
Mhm.
Zilla's going to look at like Lula and Everett and be like, "What time is it in here?" Because again, he doesn't understand this city, but like you guys seem to have figured it out. So he's going to assume that you understand what the color of the streetlights mean.
No,
Zill doesn't get it.
No
my
idea.
assumption is something where it's basically counting out hours in essence. Because we've seen them shift color a couple times since we've been here, so it's not days because the city isn't in two different time zones.
Everybody make, I don't know, history or like history or insight. I don't know. One of those two.
Miss Jackson.
14.
Insight 22.
Okay.
6 insight.
Dude,
4 history.
man, you are being fucking haunted.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Rude, Caleb.
Did you and Caleb have a fight the last time you spoke?
No, he's
No.
just kind of like that.
I mean,
He
thinks
likes
it's
to
I
cause
think it-
mayhem.
I'm appreciating it. I think it's funny.
I
I
think
just
it's
feel
more
a little bad on your side of the screen.
To be fair, it's my other dice as well, so I think my dice are just mad at me.
Maybe we need to have a little bit of. Maybe you need to do some sage.
Do I need to
Yeah.
repent? Is this what I get for robbing the temple last night in Baldur's Gate?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, probably.
Then killing the angels that came. The avenging
You
angels.
killed
and
an
being
angel? No wonder your dice are fucking with
Yeah.
you. Lead with that next time.
Do
I had to remove curse on myself and Christina. And when that happened, then like the angel came down and tried smiting us, but I was like, newsflash, bitch, I'm gonna smite you first.
Wait,
And-
which temple are you talking about?
The one in Baldur's Gate that's kind of like that has all the gods in it, that we were talking to Mistra in for Gale's quest.
Yeah, we didn't start a fight in that one.
Well, I didn't
Well,
really
did you
start
try
a
to
Right,
rob
fight.
that
because
one?
the paladin that I played didn't abandon my oath. Okay, that's not true. I redeemed myself.
Oh yeah, no.
I
No.
decided
Look
not
at
to
the
pay the
ones.
100 gold to take my oath again.
Yeah.
No, but like Tina was like standing at the altar of Seluna, and I was like, cool, look, there's this like locked hatch here. I'm just gonna like do a little picky. And then I went down there and I was like, cool, there's chests down here. Let's open them. So we
I
disarmed
see.
all the traps and opened the chests and then got cursed.
Like you do.
Like you do.
As one does.
You know what? That's because we didn't have a contract that told us that all the shit that we find is ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, Shadowheart got a nice amulet out of it. What was it, Tina?
I mean, like, it's an amulet at the devout.
Nice.
It was like a +2 amulet at the devout, I think. I don't know.
That's
It was very pretty. And then there was a lot of angel murder. It was bad.
and there was a lot of angel murder.
Baldur's Gate's really fun, guys.
It's fun. It's fun times. So yeah, we should find a place.
Like shit.
Shut up.
Yeah, do we want to find a place on 6?
Yeah, actually, well, so yeah, do we know anything about the counting of time?
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we got absolutely
Distracted.
derailed. So the street lights, the lamps, are how time is kept. And they are either amber or blue, mimicking daylight or moonlight.
Okay.
So the changes happen from the higher low numbered rings
Mm-hmm.
towards the deeper higher number rings.
Mm.
When all of the rings are amber, that's noon.
Oh, so if like
When they're all blue, it means it's
When
midnight.
they're all
midnight.
blue, it's midnight.
so like if ring 1, so it's 1
Yeah.
o'clock, 2 o'clock,
3
3
o'clock.
4. That's smart. I like
Wait,
that.
but- So, like, 2 questions. What are they doing because 11 and 12 are underwater? And also, what if they decide to dig deeper and there's a 13th?
Nope.
Well,
stop.
now you're on military time.
Now you're on military time.
Again, this is so just being like again, Endeavor and Lula are trying to explain. He's like, but no, they didn't think this through for the long term. Again, I don't understand this city.
Lula's so torn about this city because like it's so like mechanically cool, but also like they shit on Skytown and like that's her home. That like you know, but she's like, but they got such cool shit. But like also
Okay,
fuck
but
'em.
Courtney thinks this city is cool as fuck.
we could have cool shit too.
Yeah,
Like sunlight.
Yeah.
fair. It's true.
I mean,
Photosynthesis.
We don't need this shit to tell time.
in fairness,
I didn't-
Skytown has like a bourbon street, and they have a speakeasy on that street.
Moonlight
They do.
House, my favorite.
Corsava Brew doesn't have like a
Not that we've found. Not that we've
Not that
found
we
yet.
found
Yeah.
We haven't
Do they
found
have a
that
bourbon
district.
ring?
yeah.
That was the 12th
District.
ring.
Do the rings?
What do you?
It's the
Go ahead.
13th.
What was your question, Sam?
It's not related to.
Just like, never mind.
No, it's actually like. Do the rings? Do the rings get smaller as they? Is it like a funnel, or is the pit very clearly like cylindrical in shape? I don't like doing
It
that
is-
motion.
It is not cylindrical. It's conical.
Okay.
But it's not like hourglass.
I would do so much else, but this is being recorded, so like. Let's be good here. Okay.
Okay. So we can at least gauge roughly when noon and, well, basically noon is, and at least when it's getting close to midnight, because we will be able to see.
At least be able to see like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, at which point we'll know.
Yeah.
So with all this technology, are there actually clocks? Is that a thing?
No, the pit is a clock.
Well, yes, but are there smaller versions?
Like watches.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean,
I mean-
yeah.
But
Okay, like
yeah,
there, this is something that people do have. Like there are
Mhm.
there are mechanical clocks that exist in this world.
Sure.
Like a wrist clock.
Yeah, I'll say it's like 6 p.m.
So we can. Okay. That works. Yeah, so we'll be able to gauge.
We've got cable gondolas
yeah.
and
Like, we-
San
feel like
Francisco
clocks are
style
out of
rail
reach.
cars.
but we don't
Yeah.
have clocks.
Yeah, but we've got. Hold on. Let's continue. I'm going to be looking something up.
Okay.
Okay, we're good. So,
6?
I think, yeah, and I think
Sure.
I feel like maybe 6-ish, because we are going to need to visit a gear, so we want to be relatively close.
And that's
5, I believe, 5 or
Yeah.
7, 5.
Yeah, once we're actually like away from here, Zill will like make sure there's no other Deep Legion around and like pull everyone off the main road so we're not a-holes talking in the middle of it,
yeah.
like to the
Oh,
side
yeah,
of a
no.
building, and give like the full message of, you know, midnight, Darksong Manor, 6th, midnight, 6th, Midtown Anvil, whatever. Again, he
message of
probably
the
says it
month.
wrong because he doesn't understand this town.
He's like
Midnight.
Anvil 6th? What the
Yeah.
It's like reading like a
Mid-
European address.
Yeah, it's like he says it like mid Anvil Town 6.
What? Are you having a stroke?
No, I don't know. It's just something about this. I assume it was the 6th ring, and then there was something about like a mid anvil.
No. Anvil's the pie slice. Mid is where in the slice you are.
Okay, eat half the slice.
Yeah,
Cool.
eat half the slice.
Okay, but
yeah.
at midnight.
Okay.
I don't know why that guy decided to tell us, but
Yeah, that's weird.
that's what I'm assuming. That's what the staring was about.
Well, I think it's quite clear that we're not
From here?
long part of the Deep Legion, and well,
Are you saying we stick
clearly
out?
we're not from these parts.
We're not from around here?
No, ma'am. So,
Yeah. So
who
we could
better
always
to ask for a midnight interlude than a unknown party?
Yes.
Maybe don't say it like that, but okay.
What, Zill? You're not one for interludes.
What I do with my interludes is my business, Helia. Kids these days.
I'm sorry, I'll get off your lawn.
As if I could afford a lawn.
Your pension does not pay for a
I'm
lawn.
sorry, I'll get off your AstroTurf doormat.
Thank you.
So we could conceivably find a place to stay though in that general area.
Yeah.
I mean, we might have walked through it, honestly. Find a place to stay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
2-6, find a place to
2-6.
stay. Wait
Set up
until
there. 10.
Presumably, yeah, 10, because we'll know it's 10.
And we could also
We have to
keep
also
an
go
eye
find
out
this place.
for the look.
Yeah.
On our way. I mean, if we look as we're looking for a place to stay, we could keep an eye out for this manor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe stake it out.
See what this is about.
Do I see things like little critters in here, or is this a very clean city, or is this a ROUS is in the sewer city.
I mean, it's a city. There's critters.
There's critters.
Yeah, I mean, they're small. There's like rats and things. They're not. It's not like an epidemic. They're not like everywhere, and there are piles of them. But every so often, you
They
see
exist.
like rat type creature.
Rat type creature. Okay. Just in case.
Like for food?
No. Yes? Do you normally eat rat?
I mean, I'd rather eat rat than not eat anything and die.
Noted.
Endeavor
Filed
just
away.
saves that away in a long-term memory
If we're
bank.
hungry, you're gonna come back and Endeavor's gonna have like a bag of rats for you.
Yeah.
No.
God. Thank you. That's so
Why is it a
kind.
whole ass bag of them instead of just like one or two?
I don't want Zill to die. Didn't
Here,
specify
Zill,
the
I made you
number.
stew.
They're very small.
Endeavor's gonna be like, Zill, I made you stew so you don't die. Zill's gonna like take a bite. It's
There's like
rat.
tails.
Oh, thanks.
I don't think Lula taught Endeavor how to cook. Like, let's be real.
No, do you think Lula knows how to cook? Come on. This kid
Is this-
definitely eats ramen.
This is gonna be like when Vision tried to cook, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Endeavor came pre-programmed with DoorDash in their brain.
100%.
Endeavor is DoorDash.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yes, we will find a place to stay.
All right. And you're headed down to the sixth
Sixth.
ring to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think looking, probably trying to find a place near and like near Anvil. And I
Okay.
believe, if I'm correct, I think we actually might know where. Do we know where that is? We might. Ba-ba-doo. Level 3. Yeah.
Does anyone have a swim speed? Probably not. Does anyone know how
I
to swim?
mean,
Endeavor can turn
Yes.
into an orca.
I can also turn other people into things that can swim, preferably, hopefully intelligent things that can swim, so that you don't just kind of get caught on a hook and die.
Okay.
But yes, I can also make it so that you don't have to change into another form, so that you can still go underwater and not die.
Yeah, I can do that too. So I figure we
Yeah,
can
we
spread
can-
the wealth on that.
Yeah.
Well, I can do
We
it to
can-
myself because I can only do it to one person.
I mean, I can do water breathing.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, before we went into the flooded place, I made sure to,
Prep that.
made sure to connect the memory banks to whatever, and
Because unlike myself, Tina's a good druid and thinks about what spells she might need from day to day, and I'm like, this list seems legit.
I don't need to change it at all. Okay.
Just gonna
I mean-
shape anyway.
there's I mean, I can become an orca. I don't really know. I can become an
Or a
octopus.
seahorse.
I could be a giant octopus, and I can just grab you all on my things and just go.
Please don't touch me with your tentacles.
Let's not talk about tentacles.
Wondering if I should bring Brutus.
How does he do in water?
Probably not great.
I feel like he'd sink.
What is he?
Paddle?
Doggy paddle. He's a construct.
Like, he's a construct?
So he doesn't have to breathe.
Yeah. We could just
But he's heavy. Do you really want to have to get saltwater
Buoys.
crustacean out of his
Ooh, yeah. maybe not.
ears?
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time,
He's really useful.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I was thinking maybe we put the bodies in him and on him.
Or at least he could drag them.
Maybe you could
How
design
big
like
is
a
Brutus
motor
compared to a
mechanism for
standard-sized
him.
dwarf?
Brutus is medium-sized.
He is, so he
Yeah.
could, in theory, carry a dwarf.
Uh-huh. So,
Okay.
like, we could leave him wherever we enter. He doesn't have to go under with us.
We could always leave him at, like, whatever a reasonable high point is.
Yeah.
Someplace that we don't think will get flooded. We might need to tie him off.
Oh, I had a really bad mental image.
Sam, I am going to say this just to give you an option. You do not have to do this, but I will say with 100 gold worth of material and 8 hours of work, you can essentially mechanically turn Brutus from a dog into a dolphin.
Oh, it's funny you think I have 100 gold.
I think I have... No, didn't we get gold before we came?
Yeah, that would wipe out the party funds, though.
I have, like, 50.
I have a whopping 38.
I'm just picturing Brutus and, like, his little tail just turning into propeller.
See, I was picturing like fishing net and a length of rope,
I mean,
and
I
you know
think we
the
can
tail,
work
like,
something
cranking
out.
it, but the rope was coming out the bad spot.
Oh!
Oh. Wow.
It's like when a
No,
dog eats string.
no, we don't need to.
Yeah. I mean, as like Elliot's saying that, Zil just talks over. So does anybody actually have a net? Because that's not a bad idea if we just like put the net around the person and then somebody swims up to tie the rope to Brutus. He can just like
Pull.
mush and pull.
yeah.
Yeah, I think... Do we have a net? Nope. I think I have rope.
I do have
Maybe we could-
rope. I mean, just rope would also work, but I figured.
Yeah, I mean, rope will work. And then we can just have, if we need to, we can always have Brutus stay above the water line, and I guess maybe a little bit higher. We'll have to see how fast the water is flowing into this place. Like,
Yeah.
you know, is level 10 going under?
That's why I wasn't gonna. I was thinking like let's find like,
Lodging
on 10, and I was like, there's probably nobody down there.
Yeah, we don't go to the barrier islands. That's not where we want to stay.
Okay, I will think about it.
Yeah.
For now, let's find a place to stay, and I'll have some work to do in the morning anyway.
Yeah, we
'Cause I
can
have some
do that.
invitations I gotta switch out.
Yeah. And I think tonight, I don't know, when they gave us the list of people, like individuals that are, individuals that are assumed to have been at this event.
Yeah.
Did that come with any sort of description, identifying something where if we're looking at a rando bloated dwarf corpse, we're going to be able to say like, oh, you know, that's Lady Anvil Braun versus like random lady dwarf. Like,
I will say yes.
okay.
There is a like a 1 or 2 sentence description.
Like basic.
Yeah, basic description of who these people are and what they look like.
Okay.
Dwarf. Long beard. Dwarf.
Yeah.
Medium beard.
And then you're sitting there trying to figure out what is long for a dwarf.
I just posted that partial guest list.
Okay. Okay. Wonder what all these folks were doing.
I don't know, being rich.
Yeah.
You would think the
Yeah, everything you've been told know about these people. It was a dinner party for rich people.
I would have thought the rich people would have been like, you know, up in the slightly less dark zone of this city.
Or maybe they were showing off because they were in the fancy new area and some fancy gated community.
Bioluminescent gated community.
Mhm.
Okay, well,
All right, so you guys are headed down to the 6th ring.
Yes.
yeah.
All right.
6th ring.
Do, do, do. And are you going to try and stay in the Anvil district, or
I
at
think,
least nearby? I assume
yeah,
that's your play,
yeah,
is
Yeah.
to find somewhere to stay near this manor.
Well, the
Yeah.
manor's on. Oh yeah, yes.
yeah. I think looking for an inn or guest house or something that is either within 6th Anvil, or if there isn't, if that's not the type of stuff they have there, then
Like next
something in one of the adjoining pie pieces.
Okay. Um. Yeah, I mean, you guys make it down to the 6th Anvil. Um, you have to do a little bit of. There's a couple of connections. Um, there's a fair amount of walking, mostly because the Anvil districts are pretty close to the Stone districts, and that's where the chasm most is through all the Stone districts. Um, so a lot of those are shut down once you get over to that area. Um, but you guys make it over there, and you actually end up right like at the edge border between the 6th Anvil and the Hammer district. Um, just gotta make a note there. So you end up, it's actually in the 6th Hammer district. You find an inn called the 13th Act.
13th.
And as we're making our way to that place, do we find a place also called the Dark Song Manor?
Um, if you would like to go looking for it at this point, you can make an investigation check.
I feel like we have
Sure.
time, so
Yeah.
we could have done we could have taken the scenic route
Yeah.
through 6th Anvil as we're looking.
Yeah.
We're being subtle about it as much as we can be.
I mean, we just look like dumbass tourists.
Yeah.
We are dumbass tourists.
14.
Are we all investigating?
You can if you'd like.
Yes.
I don't know why I'm bothering today.
I mean, you can provide the help action.
Pretty sure it's like the highest I've rolled all night with an 8, so that's a 12. Double digits, guys,
you sure
finally.
You're using a D12?
Yeah.
No, it's got the little moon and star on it for my D20.
And
I am legitimately asking as somebody who has used a D12 an entire session
So I have my dice separated by like
by type.
Sam, what did you
25.
get? And Tina?
20. Wait, it's investigation?
Yeah.
19.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, between the group of you now that you have a much better idea of how the city is laid out, how to navigate through the city. And so you guys do eventually find the Dark Song Manor. It is um it is pretty close to like the in-town areas, but it's kind of like on that border between in and town. It is um situated like in its own cavern. Like they were excavating a mine tunnel and came upon a um you know an open space, an open cavern. Um and someone, instead of just filling that space with house, this manor looks like an above ground house. It's a freestanding building in this like chiseled dome. The dome is maybe 70 or 100 feet high from the ground. And there is a not particularly extravagant looking, but it is a rather large stone house. Like in the middle of this bubble. Um, and it has like it's not grass, but there's like an actual lawn. It looks like it's mostly like um natural local plants. It's like mushrooms and moss and things like that. But it's like a lawn of a freestanding house in a giant hole in the ground. Like that in itself is what makes this manor extravagant. Um, but you pass by it. I mean, it's only like 6 or 7 o'clock, so you're way ahead of that, midnight timeline.
Do we see as we're passing by, like, are there lights on inside? Something to indicate, like, are there people living there? Is this an abandoned manor? Is
Yeah.
this an actively
Are there
lived in place?
is there guards?
Yeah.
Um, you you take a cursory glance of the property. You do not see any lights on in the inside, although there are windows. Um, it the house looks like it's modeled after like a Roman villa.
Mm.
So it's got it's this there's lawn like all the way out to the edges of this bubble. And then in the middle it is a pretty open space, but it is a ring
Mm-hmm.
of just roofed columns
Mm-hmm.
that like outline this like courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
And then the house makes up the far back wall of the courtyard.
Okay.
And so you don't see any lights inside the house. But you do see one. He's at a distance, so you can't like make out any features or any insignia on any of his dress. But you do see one armored dwarf. He's not in full plate. He might be wearing probably like chainmail. Um, but you do see one dwarf kind of like walking through the courtyard.
All right, good to know. It's a interesting house.
I was kind of expecting it to be abandoned, to be honest. For really no reason, but I wasn't expecting anybody to be living in it.
Based off of the plant life, does it look like this is something actively cultivated? Like someone would have to be actively keeping this stuff alive down here?
Make a nature check.
You're a druid, you're good at those, right?
I'm a druid. That means I suck at those, like every
Right, 'cause
other
it's
druid.
int instead of wisdom, like
Yeah. I mean, you're not terrible, but you're not
Which,
great
I'm sorry,
at it.
is as stupid as clerics not getting proficiency in religion.
Yeah.
It's because they're
Unless you take... Well, yeah. Okay, you can get it if you take Acolyte.
Yeah.
The background.
16.
16?
Yeah.
It is, judging by the arrangements of a lot of this plant life and its abundance, it is very clear that it was at one point well cultivated and well. However, that is no longer.
Okay.
It is starting to look a bit overgrown.
Okay.
Not really problematically so, but it's like when you don't cut the lawn.
You've been on
Like,
vacation.
Why you gotta
you
judge
can
me?
tell. Oh, I'm not judging you. I don't think I've cut my lawn in like 2 months. It just doesn't grow very tall. So I leave it. It looks fine.
Just need to rip all this shit out.
I keep telling my wife I want to tear, just let the whole lawn be moss, because we do have kind of a moss problem in our backyard.
On the moss. Is there moss
No.
in the backyard?
Yeah, there's moss in the backyard. Yeah, there's moss all over the place. But I want to replace all of the grass with moss because it's still green, and my motto is, it's green, it's good enough. And moss doesn't grow real tall.
My mom and dad tore out all their grass and did paving stones, and then they just had like little circular beds for their trees, and then my mom just plants flowers around the trees, and that's it. Their front yard is very low maintenance now.
You can't do that here.
Yeah.
No.
My neighbors tried to rip out some of the grass to put in like stone and shit, and eventually started to using a flamethrower to kill weeds.
Yeah.
Because there is, to be fair, a specific product that is made for killing weeds that is essentially just a flamethrower.
Yeah.
That is what it's marketed for.
They were using that because the weed guard and other such tools were not working.
They were using it on the pavement though, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what you're supposed to use it for. Okay. Good. That's something.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what this estate looks like.
Okay. It looks like someone's been active here. If not extremely recently, relatively recently. I mean, you don't get that kind of foliage without work.
Yeah, and you don't have a guard unless there's something in there to guard.
Yeah. I'm still just. I don't know. It's weird.
We come back around 10 and stake it out.
Maybe the person who lives here is somebody who went down to the party.
Maybe.
Well, guess we'll find out at midnight.
It's very pretty, though.
Okay. Go get rooms.
Yeah, get ourselves some rooms.
Yes. So you make your way
Stuff.
back to the
Mhm.
13th axe.
Yes.
You get a couple of rooms.
Mhm.
They are 2 silver pieces per night.
Ooh.
I'll take it.
And your first night is payable in advance.
Okay. 2 nights? 2 nights?
I
3 nights?
Yeah, I suppose.
1 night?
Does our contract have a time frame on it, or is it just till complete?
The contract states that you are due to report in your progress, not tomorrow morning, but the
Mhm.
following.
Okay, so we'll get a room for the 2 nights.
So you have tonight
Mhm.
if you already had a plan and wanted to just bust it out, or you have all.
Yeah,
We can
So
leave in
we
the
can-
morning tomorrow. I have to do some stuff in the morning.
yeah. I
Oh.
think that'll be good. And then, yeah, we'll get the room here for a couple nights, and then we can head back the following day to report in.
Okay, so 4 silver.
Alright.
Yeah. Oh, buddy. Okay. Honey, your head's gonna fall off the bed.
Okay. Drop our stuff. Hang out.
Get some yeah. Get
Short
some
rest.
dinner.
Get
All
some
that
dinner.
jazz.
All right. And I think this is as good a place as any to stop for the evening.
Mhm.
Woohoo!
Because
And when we pick up, we will return to this mysterious Dark Song Manor.
Sweets. Alright. Thanks, Internet, for hanging out.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
thanks, guys, for playing.
yes,
This is going to get
Thanks for
good.
running.
it is
It's about
good.
to get good. I promise.
It's been good. It's just
Yeah.
gotta ramp up.
I mean, we did, sort of end the world before, so.
Yeah.
We didn't do anything. We just happened to witness it.
On that
That's
note.
true.
Wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah. Alright. Goodbye,
Yeah.
Internet.
All right.
Goodbye,
Good night,
Internet.
interwebs.
Good night, Internet.